Welcome back, everyone, for the final episode of Hanna's 2023 interview. If you are enjoying this podcast, please feel free to subscribe. It lets me and Jessica know that you're enjoying it, and it's just a great way to get us out there to a wider audience. And with that, here is the next segment. Yeah, it is when you find yourself in front of a tarot reader or an Enneagram interviewer that is a tarot reader, let's say that, because or psychic or a medium or anything, you are, whether you know it or not, very vulnerable right now. And it's simply because a lot of times we think we're going to go once, right? With therapy, it can take me 6 months to get something out because I know I have an appointment every week, and maybe I need 6 months to get it out. But I think that's why it is so special to go to people like us when maybe you just need to crack something out of you really quick, like a chiropractor, and then return to your therapist. And now you have 6 more months of communication to talk about after you've had this kind of opening. And there are so many things inside of us that we're so embarrassed about, we want to be forgiven for, we want to be understood for, that when somebody who doesn't know us, that we have 1 hour with, and we're like, I'm okay with you seeing the things that I maybe don't like about myself, or see the things that the habits and patterns that I have that I don't like about myself. And not to say that you should always, affirm negative patterns or anything like that, but just the acknowledgement that it's there, that it's seen, that other people go through this. This isn't a singular problem. This is not, you're not forsaken. It is something maybe you want to work on, but just know that these traumas from childhood, it's kind of expectant almost that this is, what's coming out now, right? Like, I feel like that's what probably a lot of times people are getting out.
Right. And the whole idea of all of this stuff coming back to archetypes are universal human symbols, ideas, images that connect us all. And so the idea that, what you're going through is your own unique experience, but it's also part of the human condition, can make people feel like it's just okay.
Exactly. Like, whenever I don't go often, which is very funny. I should go more to readers. I think sometimes, I'm human. We're all human. I think we do have to come to that place of like, I'm ready, unless you're calling a hotline number, and then you can kind of be ready at any time because it's $1.99 a minute or $4.99 a minute. But if you see like a larger price tag and you're faced with do I, don't I, and you do go through that threshold, you are opening up and you are wanting that interaction. And so a lot of times you're wanting redemption, right? Or you're wanting to feel like I'm not a bad person, or I'm not a malfunctioning person. Like, I can, if this is the kind of career that I want, maybe I'm sabotaging it, and it's not just the outside world. Maybe there's something I can do to fix this, and it's not just, karma or juju or negative things. And I think that's the other thing. It's like, there's certainly fate. And even if you want to say that all of life is fate, that's totally fine. It doesn't, take away from the fact that every day we find out. But if there is certain things like fate, then we can say that that's sort of ruled out in the realm of free will. So whatever's fated to happen is just gonna happen. And so what are you doing in between all of those moments that feel overwhelming and kind of take away what you feel like take away your free will? What are all the things that you're doing inside of there? And I think a lot of people, when they open up to spirituality, they think they're tapping into fate. And it's like, fate's fate. Like, if we've decided that's fate, there's nothing you can really do. But what you can do is tap into your free will, which is your decisions and the way that you want to grow, and the patterns that you want to break, and the person you want to feel inside, the soul you want to feel inside, the optimal level of your life, or living it to the fullest. Even if, certain things that happen, you can't stop them. Like, there's just, the overall one is what? Death, right? Like, there's just certain things that will happen. So that's what I feel like also with the Enneagram, with tarot, brings that person into like the magic, and you're like, yo, here you are. It's yours. You have it. And I can actually show you instructionally or give it to you in a way that makes sense. So when you walk out of here, you have an actionable plan.
Right. And I think a lot of times people come to tarot readers or astrologists because, they don't know what to do, but they also they're sort of lost. And at some point, they're just like willing to try different things. And I love what you said about the whole idea of fate, because the whole idea of divination, uh, I'm not necessarily 100% on board with telling the future, with 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 the idea that that there is that sense that we do create our own future, but then I do think that there's some stuff we can't change. So maybe that is fate. I don't know what that is, but the idea of putting some ownership back, maybe when somebody's feeling lost or out of control, or they don't know what to do, or just the sense of like, um, being able to just hand them back a little bit of like ownership for what they're doing in their lives, and that they can control things. We do have the capacity to control some things, and by being conscious, by being more self-aware, by thinking things through, by looking at different options, like these are the things that I think a tarot reader can really bring to the table, that then empowers the person, because it is not the tarot reader who is the boss. It's like we are conduits or tools that enable the person to own their own lives and run their own shows. So that's kind of my perspective.
I think that makes sense. And you're right. Like I will read for the future, but I completely understand that not only is the future subject to your actions, but it's also, even if it is something that's coming up right now, this just might be a consequence you need to experience. Nothing is the end all be all of anything. And that's kind of a Disney trope, or a fantasy trope that's been put upon us for a really long time, is that, okay, well, once I've hit this thing, I'm kind of done. Or once I've fallen in love and I've gotten married, I'm done. There's no more, there's these pinnacles of life, or these, milestones where we don't really see anything past it. So it's kind of like, I'll tell people, because a lot of times people come to me for love. And that's a big reason that people come to tarot readers is, like, why am I feeling this way? Or why is this hurting so bad? Or why didn't we end up together? And what I find most interesting about it is when we go to like these places where the person didn't consider a behavior or consider a pattern. There's so many things that we don't really think about because it's not given to us. What's the only things that are given to us are milestones. So all those tiny little things inside, they just break open this new mindset. What is it? The truth will set you free, or that is the swords, right? Is conflict. It's the conflict of an issue of truth. Is it me or is it you? Or did you just do something to harm me? Or do I have to strategize? You start getting woken up to something. And then once your mind understands it, it's so much easier for your heart to understand it. When I found out I was a fearful anxious, and I'm sure there's like 1,000 attachment styles, but I found out I was a fearful anxious. I didn't even know about an attachment style. And if all of my issues didn't go away in like a week, I was like, I just didn't know. I didn't understand that my perfectionist issues, I'm not a perfectionist in everyday life, but when I get into a relationship, I'm a Libra. So I will try, and even beyond that, I will try to make everything great and perfect. And so when I see that someone is loving me for those traits, I start getting resentful. I start wanting to push you away. I cut off any idea of the future. And I didn't understand what was going on. And that's what a fearful anxious does. Or they'll push you away if you're too clingy. It's like they kind of go for like a hot and cold person. And I was just like, wait a minute. And like so much of my brain patterns around it either changed or I just became woken up to them. Just like you said, I became conscious to them. So that's the thing. It's becoming conscious to these things so that when a future, maybe a negative future comes up, even if it does happen, it's something you can learn from. It's a consequence you can move past, especially now because you have either a different perspective, or you were just open to something that you can walk down, and you might start seeing all of these cards change.
Yeah, I totally agree. And what I used to say in the olden days is that there are no bad cards, and I still believe there are no bad cards. However, I used to, I think, when I first started reading, I think I used to always try to put a positive spin on like the Three of Swords. Like, okay, how are we going to spin this to be okay? Because I don't want to give bad news and blah, 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 blah. But really, these cards that are difficult, these cards that are challenging, like those are the best cards. So in a way, there are no bad cards, but they are the best cards because that is how you grow, is by going through that Three of Swords, by going through by going through all these, you know, sword challenges. That's how we grow. And we know that we don't like it. It's not pleasant. But so in that way, I love the way that it's like you were talking about how the future, so you are in fact kind of giving some glimpse of the future, but there is that sense of human free will that can impact it. So yeah,
You're the reason the future's going to happen. You're the reason. You know, like that's the other thing is like exactly what you said. There is so much free will. If I can see the future, if there's something that's playing out that's negative, you're probably involved in this. You know, it's not unless it's a major, but even then there's a quality of your involvement just simply because you're going to be involved as a human, right? So what I did, what is it? The point of power is in the present, right? So if that's the case, then whatever I do right now is my future. It is, or whatever or emotions. Talk about like an emotional state for the future. Emotions come and go. They're like water vapor all around us. So just because some kind of chapter is closing or a Three of Swords happens, it's obviously not the end of your life. It will pass. Things will move on. Like when I do monthly readings for people on my Aquarium Plus account, if I see maybe more negative or tumultuous cards, I say, do not forget, this is 30 days. Like it's just 1 month. All of this will clear. Come back next month. We'll see what happens then. But a tarot reader will never, oh, that was the other thing. When people come to me for love, especially when they ask me about their next love, and I have to say, listen, I'm going to tell you about your next love. I don't know if it's going to be the right person for you. I don't know I don't know if that person you're going to marry, but I'm not going to talk to you about your one true love because I don't know if that's really real for almost, and I don't say that part because like that's just, you know, where they are in life, but like I can't conjure the right person for you. I can't, because you called me, I can't then automatically usher them forth. But what I can do is I can say, this is probably the next, I see a personality here about the next person that you're going to meet. This person may be artistic or, you know, just started a business or, you know, maybe owns their own business. I can say that, but that person may not be the right person for you in the long run. That might be another lesson. Because let's say, okay, I'm going to give you the person of the personality that is going to be the person you want to meet. It's in 5 years. Did you want to hear that? Did you? No, you don't. Like you want to hear that the next person is the next person. So I think that's also where a client or a person coming to us needs to temper themselves as well. Like you said, you're kind of hitting a wall of, I don't know what to do anymore. So it almost, and this isn't all the time, but this is anytime anyone goes, for anybody who's listening, when you go to a reader, please remember that they are not fate spinners. We cannot change things for you. What we can do is, like what we're talking about right now, open things up for you and allow you to maybe drop things away or see things differently or maybe cord cut, right? I've helped people understand a past relationship where they felt like they could start letting go. We can do that. But a person who says they can cast a spell that will make things happen, even if that's true, even if it was, we are in 2023. Okay? Anything you want is available to you. All right? So you don't need, the only reason you would want a spell is because you want to control something. And when you control something, that's bad karma. Doesn't matter if at first, if the spell worked, you got what you wanted. You're getting what you want based off of your own ego and your own fear of what it's going to be like to not have that thing than it is on something that's real and personal and true. If a person doesn't want to be with you, that has nothing to do with you. And if it does have something to do with you, then you probably need to come to an Enneagram reader or someone to help your own personality. It may be something about you or maybe something about them. And that's the healing process that needs to start to happen between people with relationships, between people with like the threes where, I have to be recognized, I have to be seen, or the steamrolling of eights, or the over emphasis on parting of sevens. It's like these are things that they aren't bad by any means, but when they go to a certain place that is not beneficial to you, then we need to take a look at those things, and that will probably correct more than a spell will.
Yeah, right on, sister.
Right. This has been such a great conversation, Hanna. Thank you so much. I might actually even be taking you up on your Enneagram interview. Are you teaching that? Aren't you teaching how to Enneagram interview? Do you teach that?
I'm not teaching how to Enneagram interview. I just do Enneagram interviews.
You ever want to teach? I'll be your first student.
Yeah. Okay.
Practice that.
Yeah. No, I love doing trades and I love doing practicing on other people. So yeah, we should definitely get together and do some stuff.
Please, I have to. Yeah, I'm going to be opening up to mediumship soon. I do past on loved ones readings, and I'm going to be lining up a lot of people that I know just so I can, what it feels different when you do it once, a month than you do when you feel like you do it every day kind of thing. So I will exchange. If you have any past loved ones that you would like to talk to, I would love to exchange that with you.
Yeah. And I, as somebody who has never gone to a psychic ever, I think it would be amazing.
You've never gone to a psychic?
You could pop my cherry.
Oh my God. I am here for it. I am here for it. That's fantastic. We're going to have to talk about this. We'll pick a day and we'll go, maybe in August, because I just have to get through some stuff in July, but we'll pick a day and we'll do, or maybe 2 days, we'll do different, because this stuff, for everybody in the audience as well, if you ever get really tired, that's natural. Like, I used to think that I could go all day and, like, I can do all these readings. And it's like, no, you can just do one reading and then you can do another reading another day. It's okay. Like, it's a lot of energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something, too, that as a sensitive person, you are taking in and giving out a lot of energy. And there have been times where I've done a course, and then after I've taught a course, I have 20 people who want to get in on the schedule, and I physically, emotionally can't do it. Even as somebody who's high energy and I'm always on the go, there's something like I just get so depleted. And so it's like really managing one sort of psychic emotional energy is so important, because also you want to give the best to everybody that you see.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Hanna. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to do this barter with you. It'll be so good.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today, and you'll be hearing the next segment tomorrow. If you're enjoying this podcast, feel free to subscribe from whatever podcast platform you like the best, or subscribe to my Substack. That's where I post the episodes, and I will be putting more information in those blogs as opposed to the descriptions that you find on your podcast platform. So if you want to know more about the person, or you want to get more involved with my communication and what I put out there, use the description box below to navigate to my Substack. Until tomorrow, blessed be.